Seems like WB and everybody over there has got a hit with Hogwarts Legacy.
Man,
I've been seeing a whole bunch of gameplays of it. It looks amazing. Like just so many different choices and story seems great. You know what I mean? And it's completely devoid of Harry Potter, which is like
the amount of money that it is grossed is unholy. This video game has grossed more movie than the entire 6-7 weeks theatrical run of Wakanda Forever. It's already done over $850 million, grossed $850 million.
Yeah.
For a video game, in what 2-3 weeks, that's a smash. That's an absolute smash hit.
I can't remember a video game doing numbers like this since Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 hit over $1 billion. So
they have an absolute smash. And we talked about this a little bit in the Behind the Cape segment about trying to gauge audience enthusiasm and maybe Warner Brothers zigging where others are zagging. Because it's very hard to decipher some of that stuff somehow. Sometimes you have people who are championing these social causes, and what I have discerned from it is that usually when there's a just cause behind it, when there's something that people are truly passionate about, it'll cause waves if it's genuine. What usually ends up happening is the more superficial or troll based movements get drowned out, and those people do not vote with their dollar. They don't. They're very loud. They're all over the internet fighting with people who actually care about the causes, but they do not support with their dollars. They're not going to show up and pay for something. They're not actually going to boycott the stuff that they're telling you. You're telling me that this game has almost grossed $1 billion in a couple of weeks off of limited amount of consoles. And I'm supposed to compare that to all of the people who are raging online about it. The sad fact is some of those people just do that for the clout, for the attention online, and then they go buy the game.
Yeah.
And then they play the game.
Yeah.
That is the sad reality of some of these social movements, and you don't know until it's time to pay up. Until it's time to look at the numbers and see how everybody showed up or didn't.
It's ironic. I'm sure that because I told you before that a lot of the people who were fighting against the fact that J.K. Rowling is transphobic and all that stuff, they made a list of all of the content creators who were playing the game. I have to imagine that some of those people who went on to attack some of those content creators were watching the gameplay and were kind of like,
went and got the game.
You know what? It doesn't seem like it's a
you
it's a bad
unintentionally
game.
Created a free advertisement for the game that was already popular.
Yeah.
All right,
I can play this in my downtime when I'm not attacking content creators.
It's the damnedest thing. So you got people out here, claiming boycott on one side, and oh man, we're not gonna support it. J.K. Rowling this, which once again, she wasn't even involved, and that's my point, right? You're going after someone on a project in which they are not involved.
On top of that, there's seemingly a trans character in the game,
which is mainly superficial, and I'm not gonna push that so much as to say that they're really doing something great for trans people.
No.
It's completely superficial.
But
the
that would
point
show
is,
that it's completely different from
these people don't have genuine feelings behind this thing, because that's something that you should be able to look at to if this is your cause and champion. And yet you're mindlessly droning through people's comments trying to get them not to play this game, and it's only helping.
Yeah. That's just engagement for whatever content creators.
Right. This is the type of mindless, meaningless activism that some of our younger generations fall into. Y'all don't actually care about this stuff. You rant and rave and argue with me online, but you're not going to pay to go see the movie. You're not going to buy the merchandise. You fight with me all you want, but at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
Whether we're talking Hogwarts Legacy, whether we're what we're going to talk about next with Warner Brothers' next plans to follow up on this, whether we're talking MCU stuff like Ant-Man or Wakanda Forever, you can say that stuff is great. You can say it was the best thing you've ever seen. But a 40% audience drop in attendance speaks for itself.
Or 69%.
You can't long tweet me out of that. You know what I'm saying? That's math. Predate social media.
I like the fact that the first thing I heard about Hogwarts Legacy is the fact that they gave black characters like the actual hair that black people have, as opposed to that was like the first thing I heard about Hogwarts Legacy, and so that already set the table for what kind of game.
Hey man, black people in the wizarding world is something that has been few and far in between.
Yeah.
So to see, to be able to immerse yourself into that world a little bit more seamlessly, instead of the type of half code switching that some black nerds have to do to get into some of these spaces sometimes, is a big thing. Yep. Is a positive thing. Yep. It's something to be admired. If you actually care about the things that you claim that you care about, except, no, we're here to rage against J.K. Rowling even though she's not here. Now, what WB is planning to do off of their investor call that they just had this past week, among some other big announcements, one of the major things that came out is that they are doing a Harry Potter reboot.
Okay, so it's going to be a reboot of everything Harry Potter. It's not going to be.
Well, I think it's a soft reboot. I don't think they're going to retell the original stories.
Okay.
I think they're going to try to go the way of Hogwarts Legacy, of actually having a Hogwarts-centered story that doesn't have to have, Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson and all of them.
I was literally going to say it makes sense for them to
heavily
actually
centered.
Explore like a prequel or like something along those lines.
Well, it's that, and they need something that they can drive forward, right? Fantastic Beast was supposed to be that, but it never elevated to where I think that they might have wanted it, on top of what they did to Johnny Depp.
Yeah, no, if Harry Potter wants to be akin to the next Star Wars or MCU or anything like that, they would have to obviously set more stories before and after. It can't just be
Harry Potter ain't worried about nothing MCU.
No,
because
no,
before MCU, Harry Potter was the franchise that kind of transversed decades and ran for
that's a fact.
unholy
But I guess
time.
what I'm saying is like you have to kind of create not a universe necessarily, but like Star Wars at least have, where you have to set, prequels and things that happen in the future. Like you kind of have to set
so
Harry
they've
Potter
already
in
done
a
the
specific
prequel
way.
route, right, with Fantastic Beasts. So this one I think will be either present day or maybe sometime after Deathly Hallows Part 2 with Hogwarts. I don't think that they've decided exactly the parameters of it, but they are going to be making more Harry Potter movies. So that's good, right? And there's obviously still a market for it if Hogwarts Legacy is doing so well.
Yeah, you got to do prequels, sequels. You got to do all that shit.
See, I don't think they want to oversaturate though, because that's literally MCU-ifying Harry Potter.
Sorry.
And I don't think that's where they want to go.
You don't want to do it to where it's like maybe you want to do a project every year. Maybe not a movie, but like maybe you get a series and then maybe you get a movie. But it's got to be decidedly less than what the MCU is doing.
If it's going to be a new trilogy, I think you should maybe, start out with whatever new characters you're going to introduce and give them their decent Sorcerer's Stone, if you will. And then maybe slowly trickle in some of the nostalgia pieces, Daniel Radcliffe and those guys back into it as teachers or professors and stuff like that at Hogwarts. I think that would be pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing is that there's a ton of excitement around the IP right now, and so they've got that kind of jumping off point that most genre films or franchises can't necessarily count on nowadays. Look at Indiana Jones. You know what I mean? That is not it's not garnering the most excitement for their final chapter right now, which is really crazy to say because Indiana Jones is one of the highest grossing action stars of all time. So it's very easy to kind of bog down a popular franchise, and I don't think that's necessarily what's happening with Harry Potter right now.
Sure.
On top of that, Peter Jackson is returning in WB to do some more with Lord of the Rings films. So it seems like we're not going to have to suffer through another Rings of Power season. Probably.
What's wrong with Rings of Power?
It wasn't very good.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Yikes.
But more Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings films? Yes, please. Yes, please. Where the hell did Frodo go when he got on that boat with Gandalf? Where did they go? Aragon prequel series I could do. Long as you get me out of the damn Shire, we'll be okay. But yeah, no, definitely excited for what WB's got going on here, for sure.
Yeah, you lost me with the Lord of the Rings talk.
I think I took you to go see one Lord of the Rings movie with me when we were kids, and you slept through most of it.
Yeah, yep, I remember that.
Some bullshit.
Yep, good times. Got a good nap on that one.
I think it was Return of the King. That was the longest one.
Yep, and I got a good old nap during it. Paid some money for it, but
there was something else going on at Warner Brothers.
Creature Commandos has almost finished casting, and they started production.
Who's been cast so far?
That they didn't give any information on, so I don't know yet.
See, like, I don't know anything about these characters, so I can't tell you how good of a casting it is or isn't. I don't know that much about Creature Commandos.
But yep, nearly done casting. That's all I've got.
And they didn't say who?
Oh wait, no. Meet the cast: Rick Flag Sr., Nina Mazursky, Dr. Phosphorus.
Rick Flag Sr.? So Rick Flag's dad? They gotta find somebody that looks like that dude from Altered Carbon.
Rick Flag Sr., Nina Mazursky, Dr. Phosphorus, Eric Frankenstein, G.I. Robot, and Weasel. Gunn also confirmed that the lead character will be the Bride of Frankenstein. Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. So I guess she's going to be in the show.
She's going to be
a voice.
Okay. Creature Commandos. I think we already seen Weasel in the last Suicide Squad, I believe.
That's literally it. They don't give me any other information on who's actually casted. They just give me the characters.
Yep. Hey, look, can't tell you anything about.
I'm assuming that's
so
Weasel on the right there.
Yeah. Did you see the last Suicide Squad?
Mm-mm.
Oh well, yeah, he was in it.
Okay. And then so I'm assuming this is Rick Flag Jr. on the left.
Is it junior or senior?
Senior. Sorry.
Okay.
Rick Flag Sr.
Didn't know if Rick Flag had a son or a daddy.
Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein in the middle there. That's probably G.I. Robot.
But they haven't named any of the actors?
No.
Okay. Well, that was a nonsense article. Why do you even write this stuff? Who okays you to write this stuff? Yes, they've casted. Who's casted? We don't know. Who hasn't been casted? We don't know. Why'd you write this article? We don't know.
Yikes. Let's see IMDb. Okay, Sean Gunn as Weasel.
Sean Gunn was already cast to be Weasel in a James Gunn movie.
Literally.
Is Sean Gunn his relative?
Literally, series cast: Viola Davis, Amanda Waller, Sean Gunn, Weasel.
Is it Gunn just like James Gunn? That's his family. That is his brother or something who won't get off his couch. So he said, "Look, I'll give you an acting role if you move out.
You can be Weasel.
You can be Weasel." Oh my God!
He is the younger brother of director James Gunn.
Yeah, I knew it.
And often appears in his brother's films.
Holy shit!
He's also in Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special and Volume 3. Oh, he's been in all of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wait! Is that the dude that took Wandu's? Give me a picture of him. Let me see him.
Hold on. Let me see who he is specifically. He's Kraglin. Yeah.
Yep, I know that guy. He definitely got kicked out of his mom's house. and she called James and said, "Give your brother a job or he can't come back to Thanksgiving."
Yeah, he's been in all the Guardians, and he's been in now. Obviously,
he's not a bad actor though. I won't take that from him. He's been decent. He's been an enjoyable character.
He's been in Thor: Love and Thunder. I didn't know he was in Thor.
They dropped him off.
Oh,
the Guardians dropped him off.
Yep. But he was also motion capture performance for Rocket. Apparently, he does that through all of them.
He does the motion capture for Rocket?
Yep.
Why wouldn't Bradley Cooper not do that?
And he did the motion capture performance for Thanos in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm just reading what it tells me.
Okie dokie.
And he was obviously in the Suicide Squad as Weasel. He does other stuff though.
Damn, I can see his face in Weasel now that you said that. Like I'm visualizing it. I can see his face inside of that.
He was in Pearl Harbor.
That's enough.
Any other WB information?
That's it for me, man. Give us your thoughts on the Harry Potter news, the Lord of the Rings news, James Gunn having 1 million brothers. Make sure you put the comments in the prompt below. Like, share, subscribe. Come back next week for some more entertainment news.
Absolutely. Make sure you check out our previous DC segments and make sure that you subscribe. Anytime we get any major news for DC, we'll be sure to cover it.